everyone, and welcome to All About You, a program designed with all of you in mind. And today we are going to talk about peer pressure. You know that nowadays the world is becoming crazy, right? I don't speak only for myself, I believe, because I don't know, think about it. Today, what is wrong is right, right? So help me here, ladies, follow the line of thought here. Nowadays, everything that used to be wrong, now it's right.
Yes.
And everything that used to be right, now it's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's when many people start feeling the pressure. Because when they choose to do what is right, what for them is right, what for them goes according to their principles, what they were, brought up with, what they know it's right inside of them, when they want to follow that, they are quickly pressured by other people around them, isn't it? Especially nowadays, those who decide to follow the principles of a faith, they want to do what is right, they want to have a relationship with God. It's becoming harder and harder for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's also because the principles of God are exactly what the world considers wrong. So when people look from outside, they go, you are doing wrong. And I find that especially nowadays, more people are doing this, what we're calling wrong, that before used to be wrong and now is considered right. Basically, that goes against the principles of God. More people, it's more normal, it's more common. So I think that nowadays is harder for a person because the majority is just feeling free to do that. And when they want to go against it, they are the strange one.
Yeah, it's just like when you go to Oxford Street. I don't know if you've ever been. And it's like you're trying to go one direction and everyone is coming at you and you're trying to barge through and it's just, chaotic. It's the same way a person who is trying to keep their faith in God, their morals, it's like they're trying to go in one way, but then it's like everyone is coming against them. And that's when they feel, okay, am I thinking the right way? This way I'm going, should I just kind of adjust myself a little bit? Because it doesn't make sense to people. Why are people always coming against me? So they feel that pressure of, okay, do I continue or do I kind of balance, like water it down a little bit? So it's like that pressure. They're trying to go one way, but everyone else is coming against them and they feel kind of trapped.
And I will even add one thing that nowadays, we're saying that a lot today, nowadays, some people, they only find out that something that they are doing or they saw everybody doing is actually wrong later. Because all they knew from when they were little, okay, everybody does this. So obviously, this is the right thing to do. Because your parents are doing it, you grow up, your friends do it, you see everybody doing it. So I come to the conclusion that this is the right thing to do. And when they come to God is when they realize, oh, so that's not correct then. According to God, that's not right. And they decide, okay, then I want to do what's right according to God. Then that starts.
Yes, and many people end up doing those things which we are calling wrong now before God because they want to find happiness. They are looking for happiness. They look for happiness in places. They look for happiness in habits like drinking, like even using drugs. They do so many things which we know today, we know it's wrong, but still they do it. Why? Because they are looking for happiness. They are looking for a way to forget their problems because they're depressed. So they want to have a time that will make them feel good. So when they come to God, all that depression goes, all the sadness goes, the suicidal thought goes, all those things that were leading them to do what was wrong goes away. So they don't need that anymore. It's not just because it's wrong, but it's because they don't need that anymore. The gap the void that they had inside of them is already filled. So they don't need that anymore. So when they are filled, they are so happy and they go back, for example, to their workplace. They go back to school, for instance, to uni. And people used to know them as that person that was the troublemaker, that used to fight everybody, that girl that used to fight all the girls and get all the boys and be so popular. Now they see a completely different lifestyle. So what happens then? There comes the pressure.
Yeah, because you go back to your life and you realize that you are the only thing that has changed. No one has changed. Nothing has changed. And basically all the changes that have happened are really inside of you. So you go back to the same life, to the same things that you used to do. So that can be quite daunting to just say, no, I'm not that person anymore, and I don't want to do those things anymore. It can be quite hard, indeed.
Yeah, so true. Like, I remember a situation when I was in uni and I was being invited to go for some social gathering. It wasn't wrong or anything like that, but I knew for myself what it involved. You know, though my friends were like always on me, oh, come Kim, you know, I know you don't drink, but you can have an orange juice and da-da-da. But I did not want to be in that situation because I knew where it was going to lead for me, because I made the decision and I didn't want to turn back on the decision that I made. So it's true when you change on the inside, but everything else around you is still the same.
So this is what we have to be careful with, you know, many times. It's not exactly what is being presented to us, but what these that they're presenting to us can lead us into. Yeah. They can take us to what? Especially depending of your life, your past, where you came from. You know yourself. You know, if you always go out with that friend that makes you feel bad with those emotional blackmail, oh, you're not my friend anymore, I did so much for you, I was always there for you when you needed me, and you're okay, and then you go, and this friend always leads you to do things that afterwards you regret. And how does your conscience become after that? How do you feel after that? How many people they give into that and they go up and down in their faith, in their relationship with God. They start feeling bad, frustrated. Why? Because they give in, they fall, and then for them to stand up again is very hard. It's very difficult.
And sorry, Kim. And I think also that when you say something, I think it's so important for you to know that you can say you're going to do or not going to do something and actually fulfill it. When you say, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore, and you don't, you betrayed yourself. So I think it's bad for you when you decided and you failed. It's like, I can't even keep what I told myself I can do. I think it's one of the bad consequences is that, okay, I'm so weak, because I say I'm not going to do, anyone can come and change my mind. So it's one of the consequences of you giving in to the pressure.
Yeah. And also pleasing people. A lot of times people tend to turn back on the decision because they want to please the other person. So the person emotionally blackmails them, oh, you don't do this, or you don't go out, you know, you don't have a boyfriend, or, you know, you don't hang around us, or whatever. And then they please that person, you know, to keep them happy. And then afterwards, they have that guilty conscience inside of them.
And sometimes to keep the peace. It's like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, I'll go.
But then you're the one in your bedroom feeling guilty, or when you're trying to have a conversation with God, when you're trying to pray, and it's like, okay, no, God is not going to forgive me because I did that and that.
Accusation.
The accusation then comes in as well.
Exactly. So how can we deal with that? How can we overcome this once and for all? How can we, you know, people who face that, they have this hard time to keep going and avoid this, because the pain that people feel with that conscience is so much heavier than sometimes even, you know, letting go of friends that are not helping them at the end of the day. So how can you do that? Maybe you are one of these people that's having a very hard time with this. You're always up and down. You want to keep going, but you always fail, and afterwards you feel bad. How can you overcome this? Well, the answer to this question is simple. You have to make a decision. You need to stand your ground and say, this is who I am from now on. I don't want that lifestyle anymore, because that kind of lifestyle was not bringing me happiness. Otherwise, I would not turn to God in the first place. So if God is the one who is fulfilling you, if God is the one who is giving you peace, is bringing you happiness, why should you let go of Him and go to pleasing other people? Stand your ground. So many people stand their ground for so many things that we find crazy, but they are there and they don't care. So why should you as a Christian feel even ashamed for being a Christian? Why should you? Stand your ground. Stand for what you believe. And this is what means to be converted. This is what means. Convert means like this. You are walking one direction, right? This is the life you were living before. You're going one direction. When you convert, it's like you turn 180 degrees to the other side. It's like they were giving the example in the beginning. Oxford Street, right? Oh, you know all those fishes go swimming together. You see so many of them going together one direction. Imagine one of these little fishes turning and going the right direction. It seems to be even like, oh, is it something wrong? But inside of you, no, it's not wrong. My decision is right because it's leading me to a new life, a happy life. So I'll keep going. Doesn't matter how many people will come the other direction. It doesn't matter how many people say bad things about me. If they don't agree with me, what can I do? I'll keep going. And guess what? This is a phase that you're going to go through. You will see that little by little, as people see that you don't mind, you don't care, it doesn't affect you anymore, it's not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah.
All the things that you used to say, even those bad jokes that they see, they do to mock you, to make you feel bad, all these will pass. And guess what? Little by little, people will start turning to you because they will see in you someone that is happy, confident, don't suffer with low self-esteem anymore, you don't use drugs anymore, you're not addict anymore, your life is changed. So they will start coming to you, asking for prayer, asking for advice, and you're going to bring them to God, to the one who changed your life, to the one whom you decide that you make a decision, you know what, I'm going to stick with you, God, until the end of my life. All right, so this is our message to all of you in order for you to apply and see a total difference in your life. Thank you so much for being with us one more time. If you have been watching our videos, if you haven't, you can subscribe to our channel and like as well. You can share your comments below if you're watching us from YouTube, and share with your friends, from someone that maybe is facing something like that. It's helpful to them. You can share with everyone you know, okay? And if you'd like to send us a personal question or a comment that you don't want anybody else to see, you can email us to godlywooduk@uckg.org. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and see you next time. Bye-bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.